Hello student. In the previous session we discussed about the web application and some terminologies related to web application. Now we discuss that what is how Servlet can be performed in your system and when the Servlet is created and when Servlet is destroyed. So in between the Servlet creation and destroying process, what are the tasks can be performed by the servlet, and it's simply said that the servlet life cycle is defined. So in the previous session we see different types of packages or in servlet architecture, that how can you create that servlet. So there are two types of packages are there, that is Java X.Servlet package, and the second one is Java X.Servlet.htp package. Whenever you want to create a general servlet, then that is used by Java X.Servlet package, and whenever you want to use HTTP packages, and whenever you create that HTTP servlet, then you can use Java X.Servlet.htp package. Now that the servlet lifecycle is defined, so the servlet lifecycle can be there are different steps are there. So first one is that the instantiation or initialization task, then the service methods are there, and at the last that is the destroy the servlet. So whenever we define the servlet life cycle, so first stage is that you create that class. So whenever you create any servlet file, that is .java extended. Now when you compile this file, it is converted into .class file and generate class file. So servlet.class file is invoked whenever the web application is executed. So the .class file is created and it instantiate the object of that servlet class. So the instantiation process is done using new method, then the initialization task is performed. So in the initialization task there are different processes that is performed, like resource management, then after the connectivity connection establishment, and then the container that is contain the resources that must be initialized and restored is done also. Then different task that is related to provide that runtime environment and to run that application is done in the initialization step. Then it is changed into the ready mode. It means that servlet is ready to execute it. So after that service method is invoked. So in the service method the request is defined, that which type of request is done by the servlet or client. So it is defined as do get method, do post method, then do put method, do trace method, do options method, do delete method, which is the different request headers as we discussed in the last session. So this is done in service method. Then the last step is the destruction, or we can say that destroy the servlet. So the execution of the servlet is done and the service method is perform all the tasks that is defined in the do get method. Then after the destroy processes come in picture, and it relocate the memory and the resources that is given to that servlet is restored in the memory, and it is done by the servlet. So after the when the destruction process is done, the JVM runs that garbage collection, and for that finalize method is invoked. So as we all know that Java has the unique garbage collection features of their own. So it is also used in the servlet. So these are the basic scenario whenever the servlet is created and the servlet is invoked and the servlet is destroyed. So whenever we use servlet, there are 5 steps are there. First one is load the servlet class. Step 2 is the creation of servlet instance. Step 3 is that initialize the servlet using init method. Step 4 is the process the servlet request using service method, and the last one is terminate a servlet using destroy method. So these 5 steps are used to control the servlet, or we can say that that is the life span is defined by these methods. So the life cycle of servlet is controlled by the container in which the servlet has been deployed. When a request is mapped to a servlet, the container performs this following steps. So in these 5 steps, the servlet is executed. So now we see step by step process. So first step is that load servlet class. So whenever the servlet life cycle is defined, the servlet creates that class file is loaded in the web container, because without web container we cannot execute any web application. So first one, web container loads the servlet class and creates one or more instances of the servlet class. The web container invokes init method of the servlet instance during initialization of the servlet, and the init method is invoked only once in the servlet lifecycle. So the web container whenever the web container invoke init method, the all the initialization task or in resources is done in the init method. The web container invokes the service method, and to allow the servlet to process a client request, that is defined by the doGet method, doPost method, and etc. So that is the request response method, generally to fetch the request and to give the response to the client. And in the last, that web container calls the destroy method, and before destroying task is performed, it removes the servlet instance from the service method, and it same as the init method, destroy method is also invoked only once in a servlet life cycle. So these are the methods used, generally 3 methods, that is by default we create any servlet life cycle. So first method is init method. Init method is called during the initialization phase of the servlet life cycle. The web container first map the requested URL to the corresponding servlet available in the web container and then instantiate the servlet. So whenever the initialization task is done, the servlet during initialization phase, the web container maps that requested URL that is available. It means that the instantiation is done in the web container, and the web container then creates the object of the servlet config interface, which contains the startup configuration information such as initialization parameters of the servlet. So using servlet configuration, all the configuration task and the initial parameters that must be initialized is process is done in the init method. The web container then calls the init method of the servlet and passes the servlet config object to it. So when you use init method, in the init method there is one parameter, that is servlet config object is there. So using that config object, all the initialization and configuration is done. So configuration task is done by the servlet config interface. The init method also throws a servlet exception. So if any exception occurred, so at the time servlet exception is used to handle this runtime error. And if the web container have any errors, then using servlet exception you can handle this runtime error. So this using init method you can use and you can call that servlet life cycle first step. So the syntax is defined, that is public void init, and in init method you have to pass servlet config object, and it throws servlet exception. The second method of the servlet lifecycle is service method. The service method process the client request, and the whenever the request is done by the client, it receives that client request and invoke using service method. That is there are different methods is contained in service method, like a do get method, do put method, do post method. So these are the request methods to apply that which type of task can be performed by the client, so on servlet. So this is the service method, and it is invoked whenever the servlet after the servlet is initialized. So in this service method there are two parameters are there. That first one is request and the second one is response. Request object contains of the servlet request class, and response object contains the servlet response class. It also throws two types of exception, that is servlet exception and IO exception. So whenever any exception is occurred related to servlet, that is handled by the servlet exception. And if input output problem occur, or we can say that the exception occurred using input output to stream, then at the time input output exception is handled, that exception. So the request and a response is generated using service method. So this both object is contained in the service method parameter. The third one is the destroy method. So the destroy method marks the end of the life cycle of a servlet, and the web container calls the destroy method before removing a servlet instance from the services. So whenever the destroy method is called, before the destroy method garbage collection is performed, and whenever the garbage collection is performed, at that time the first of all this object that is created in the web container, it is removed from the web container, because it removes the old configuration and restore the resources whenever the destroy method is invoked. So the time period specified for the servlet has elapsed. So the servlet is kept inactive whenever the service method is invoked, and it is in the whenever the object of that class is a web container. So you need to remove that object of that class or of that servlet in the web container to destroy that activity. So web container needs to release that servlet instance to conserve memory, and it is defined that all the task that is performed before destroying that object is done in the destroy method. So here is the syntax is defined, that is public void destroy method. And this is the basic life cycle is defined, that how you can create the servlet, and what are the different steps are done in the servlet life cycle. So basically using three methods, init, service and destroy method, you can define the servlet life cycle. So in the servlet life cycle there are 5 steps are there. That the first one is the load that class in the web container, and the second step is defined that whenever the web container creates the object of that loaded class, so the instantiation is done of the servlet class. Then after instantiating or after creating the object of that servlet class, init method is invoked. It means that initialization task is done. The resources which is used to perform and to execute that application is done in the initialization part. Then after initializing the resources, the second is the service method is executed. Now to develop the servlet, there are different methods that is available to develop or to create a servlet. So first one is that using servlet interface. Using servlet interface, you can create the servlet. So it provides the common behavior to all the servlet, and there are different methods that will be available. For example, init method, service method, destroy method, servlet config, get servlet config method, get servlet information methods. So these are all the methods, and it is defined in the interface, and which is used to create the servlet. So there are different methods that all servlet must implement servlet interface, and it needs to be implemented for creating any servlet either directly or indirectly. Then second way is that using generic servlet class. Using generic servlet class, that it implements a servlet interface, servlet config interface, and serializable interface. So using generic servlet class, you have to implement this interface, and after implementing these interfaces, you can create the generic servlet by extending the generic servlet class. It provides the implementation of the methods that of all the methods that is in the interfaces except the service method. And generic servlet class can handle any type of request, so it is protocol independent. It means that you does not have to define that particular HTTP type of request, but it accept all the protocols type of request, or we can say that all the types of request. So generic servlet class is used whenever the protocol independent application is needed. So there are different methods also available, that is init method, service method, destroy method, get servlet config method, get servlet info method, get servlet context method, and get init parameter to call or to use that methods. Using these methods, you can create the generic servlet class. The third one is using HTTP servlet class. So HTTP servlet class extends the generic servlet class and implements serializable interface and provides HTTP specific methods such as do get method, do post method, do head method, do trace method. So these are all the related to the HTTP protocol, and whenever you it is a protocol dependent. So whenever you use HTTP handle the HTTP type of request and response, you can use HTTP servlet class. And the methods that are available, like service method, do get method, do post method, get last modified method, do delete method. So these are all the general purpose methods to create and to handle the servlet. And the last one is that single thread model interface. So single thread model interface is implemented by the single thread model class is implemented by the single thread model interface, and it ensures that servlet handle only one request at a time. It means that only one servlet class is executed at a time. So if a servlet implement this interface, you are guaranteed by synchronizing access to single instance of a servlet, or by maintaining a pool of servlet instance and dispatching each new request to a free servlet. It means that whenever the number of applications are number of requests is there, then if you use a single thread model, then only one request is executed at a time, and it does not work parallelly. So it ensures that request that is run at one time. So single thread model interface is used whenever you want to execute the servlet specifically. It does not contain any methods, because generally the more than one request are apply whenever the application is created. So this is the four types of creation that you want to using this any type of methods you can develop the servlet.